once again DM me your channel because I haven't my streams.
Hold on, I'm trying to open the chat. I'm trying to pop up chat. Here it is. 1 second. You should just be able to at me.
Oh, I could push at you, I guess. It's fair.
Like
What's up,
if you at and type it out, it should work. I don't know, I could be waffling. Let me know if that works or not, or if you still need the link.
Keegan's channel at Keegan. Check the description. Perfect Draft League metagame is clearly with Mega Pokemon. Don't you worry, Jacob. They will be here. It's time. What's up, not the Zodiac? Really quick, Keegan, do you want to do a quick counter-reski of how many Mons we have?
Oh, true. This is in the description. I put that in the... Oh my god. I'm so unprepared for this.
You're unprepared.
No. Saving Draft League. Well, let me do account.
Oh, I'll share my screen too.
Well, I'm gonna like do...
Or a doc. Love Mega Styles. We sure do. What's up, Nate? We sure do. So, for those of you who haven't been here, basically what me and Keegan are doing, I should probably get the pinned comment from last time. But basically what me and Keegan are doing is we are creating the perfect draft league in our mind. What does that mean? We are going to create a regional decks about the size of Scarlet and Violet, Sword and Shield length, right? Creating the perfect draft league metagame.
This bold marketer?
About 450 is what we said, right? 450?
Yep, 450.
Do about 450 Pokemon in the metagame. Everything in the metagame will be draftable as of right now. Now, we might end up changing our mind. Find this pinned comment. And do you want to just type something out so I can pin it in a minute? We're in no rush. Got a finals draft league game this upcoming week for the start of Pikachu. Let's go. I always remember.
Yeah, I'm doing the count right now.
Okay, cool. No rush. But yeah, we're gonna be creating a draft league metagame. We're cutting down the decks. Basically, what we did last time, if you guys ever want to go back and watch the old VOD, we cut out all of the bullshit guys at the top end. Guys that were not competitive, but also just not enjoyable, right? Because the goal of this is not just to make the most competitively viable draft league, because most of those guys aren't getting banned if that's the case, right? In the objective tier list, but it is to cut out the guys that suck, the guys that aren't fun playing against, the guys like the Sneaslers of the world, you know? So we cut out a lot of Pokemon. Keegan is getting a head count of how many Pokemon we have on the draft board now, and today, basically, what we're going to be doing is culling the board. Did Gambit get banned? I don't think so, because this is going to be no Terra, because I want Draft League to be fun. And I don't want to do Terra, because Terra's not fun.
That's not to say that Gambit could not go.
No, Gambit's gone. Gambit's gone. We did get rid of Gambit.
Did
we said he was lame. I think we said he was lame because that guy, like, what do you call it? He's just not fun in the sense of, like, fucking I mean,
he's just lame. It's simple as is. There's not much more to it. It's just kind of boring gameplay.
So there is no Gambino. But before we start, speaking of Terra, I need your help, chat. I need your help. Alright? Once we get to 15 viewers, we're going to do a poll on what I should get in the summer seasonal. Because there's 3 Pokemon. One of them might be King Gambit that I'm kind of debating on picking up here. It's going to be Terra Raging Bolt, Terra Ogerpon, or not Terra Ogerpon, Terra Raging Bolt, Terra King Gambit, and Terra Iron Boulder. Because both are still available for me at pick 5, and I don't quite know which one I want. It's not much fun to play against. Exactly. And again, we can always adjust, take Mons off, add them back on, but Glowking is still here. I don't think that Regenerator is not fun. I don't know. I think an important thing, too, with this tier list, too, is we want all playstyles to be viable. One of the things I think that sucks about Gen 9 is these fatter, balanced playstyles aren't good. Boulder is sick. Why Garchomp Terra banned? Well, we're not doing Terra in this. So you mean in the thing? I don't know, actually. I haven't seen too many Terra banned Chomps. Ask Smogon. I didn't make the tier list. I did not make the tier list. I love Bolt, though. I've used Terra Raging Ball. I've used Terra Gambit. I haven't used Terra Boulder, but I also feel like he might be a trap. I don't know. But yeah. What points are you on, Keegan?
We have 679 Pokemon, so we got to get like 200 guys gone. So we're not going to finish that today.
No,
but...
we're not. But we're gonna start calling some things. We're gonna start just absolutely kicking off some things off the board. And I wonder if a lot of that. I mean, on average, how many points do we have? Hold on, because like obviously we don't have to do a set number per thing, but 18. I mean, so 18 through 1. That's 18 tiers, right? So 18. What's the number?
450.
What's the number of mons we have, like, to cull?
679.
679 minus 450, 229 divided by 18. It's an average of 12 per thing. Obviously not physically possible, but
it's gonna be. I think where
I'm
looking where most of the Pokemon are at, we have like 60, 64, 70, 79, like 4 to like 1 point Pokemon. Like a lot of these Pokemon are just gonna go at the end of the day.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's like where a lot of like the fat is going to be cut out. Like looking at like 18 to 12, like that amount of Pokemon is pretty consistent to what we usually have.
So Cyrus, we're not tiering yet. We're just basically culling the decks, and then we'll adjust pricing afterwards. Right now. So these are not.
It's hard to like actually put prices until we know all of the Pokemon in the metagame.
100%, because it's all going to be relative. So Fire Bond might go up, might go down, depending. Who knows?
It'll go down. I don't know where it is right now on the board. I'm hating. Oh, it's in 16. It'll probably go down.
All right. Now from here, is there anything in 18 we want to cull, or do we like this top end of the board? I think
we were pretty intentional with like 18 and 17 at least so far.
Yeah, I was gonna say too, removing anything in 18 has big ramifications on the rest of the board, because it's a lot of Mega Pokemon or Pokemon that have Megas or are very, very big playstyle wise, right? Like guys like Torn. Like I would hate to get rid of Torn and just take away that regen balance option, right?
Yeah.
Like I think that kind of sucks. So I don't know how I feel about that, to be completely honest.
I'm good with all of what's in 18 right now. I think some of it might move to 17. Like I think regular Latios moves to 17. Like, I'm thinking, like, if we have 5, it'll probably end up being 5 18-point mons, and I kind of like all of these mons at the top of the format. Mega Latios was the only one that, like,
we can definitely look at Latios later, too, when we kind of look at the rest of the metagame, but, I actually don't think Mega Latios is too bad, to be honest. I think it's...
No, I think it should be fine.
Alright, let's look at 17. Is there any guys that were just like, maybe Cole? Something I was thinking was maybe Bundle. I think Bundle counterplays really lame.
Bundle just is so... I've never like really liked Bundle as like a Pokemon. Yeah, like John Jr. said, leave a like.
Dude, he's right.
Leave a like on the video.
Imagine if Megalade got sharpness, well, he wouldn't be allowed to play anymore.
Yeah, that guy would be gone.
I hope he doesn't, because then I'll never get to use Megalade, and I have Megalade logo now. So I really hope he doesn't.
What is this for, Obo? This is for our perfect draft metagame. So we're taking a national dex list and building a format of 450 Pokemon for draft.
So do we think remove Bundle?
Yeah, let's remove Bundle. I've never been a fan of that Pokemon. I don't think it's overbearing by any means, but it's just I without Terra, I feel like it's so inconsistent. It's kind of like the similar problem with Torn does with like missing Hurricane, but like Torn has like a lot more going for it than that.
And it does not feel rewarding to play against and beat.
Yeah, agreed.
We're not tiering right now. We're not tiering.
Yeah, let's. All right. Oh, and I'm gonna put a comment in chat.
We're not tiering. We are simply culling Pokemon right now. So we'll adjust the tiers as we go. This
are
is
you
just
able to pin the comment? I put a comment. I feel like we should pin that. It would be very helpful.
It might be. That does not satisfy John. It doesn't satisfy John. And John's all about being satisfied. It's actually John's favorite thing. I said leave a like. So aggressive. Best way to run it? Yeah. But again, we're trying to... Again, Pokemon gotta go. And it's not just the bottom tiers that have to go. We have to cull top tiers. And a lot of these Pokemon just... we're gonna have to get rid of them. We're gonna have to get rid of them.
There's
wait. It is
more fun to be had in this metagame than like missing Hydro Pump with Iron Bundle, is what it comes down to.
What do I draft? All right, really quick. We got more than 15 viewers. Let's get a poll real quick. Terra Gambit.
Should I draft Dio Speed and 7 slow guys for the memes? If you have the chance to draft Dio S in a current draft format, I would take that and draft a real team with it, because you shouldn't get many more opportunities to do that in the future.
Because that guy should be banned.
Yeah, that guy should very much not be allowed.
Alright, we're starting a poll. Vote real quick. I need a pick. Is Tail going to Manfield? Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I already know which one John. Yeah, the John Jr. server is already voting out in droves now. Wow, my vote's last place.
I haven't spoke on. I'm up right now.
I like Terra Bolt the most out of all those options. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Dude, I love Terra Bolt, man. I think that guy's him. I think that guy's broken.
Terra Gambit. I don't know. Maybe
I also like Terra Gambit too. I've used both of them. They're both incredible.
It feels like a scam to me still, but maybe not.
So I think one thing too is that there's definitely some cheesy Pokemon that I don't super fuck with that are still on this board. I'm looking in 17. Do we find Chi-Yu enjoyable? I don't hate Chi-Yu. I think that's fine. I
guess the thing with Chi-Yu is the gameplay around Chi-Yu is very boring, in that it's just I put Assault Vest on one guy and that's the gameplay, and I run Boots Chi-Yu if you have a reliable Stealth Rocker. It's kind of a very boring Pokemon, and there are some Pokemon. Now I don't. Obviously, we're not tiering tonight, but I think there are Pokemon I want to move up, and we could remove Chi-Yu to make room for them.
Well, another Pokemon I was going to mention is Palafin. I think Palafin's another Pokemon that super cheeses games, or people use terribly, right? And it just, again, is it a Pokemon that we keep because it rewards high skill and high positioning, or is it a Pokemon we get rid of because it's kind of meh?
I think we keep it. I like Palafin for being a skill testing option, and we need to keep some power on the board.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of power in 16. Like Zera, for example, is a Pokemon that we will move up to 17 when the time comes.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine like that Pokemon is very, very good. So if we're moving anything from here, I would like to remove Chi-Yu, just because I don't like the gameplay with that Pokemon, even though it's not necessarily broken.
That's fair. Let's come back to it. What about Annihilate? I use Palafin when Polar Visiting. That's so true. How broken?
I feel like not Palafin, Annihilate's just not good.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like one of those Pokemon that just like doesn't fit anywhere without Terra, at least right now.
Yeah, it feels like it really lacks an identity. What's what I mean? Like, would this board be worse if it was gone?
What fighting types do? Like, we get the thing is with this board,
so many fighting types, man.
We get a lot of new fighting types back, like Mega Medicham, Mega Lopunny. Like, what is Annihilate's role on this board anymore?
And with a higher power level 2 in Natdex and no ability to Terra out of its typing, more ghosts too to hit it offensively, like with Shadow Balls and stuff like that, I think that it really just kind of lacks an identity without Terra.
Playing Chi-Yu is very enjoyable, but not overbearing for the opponent, and it can also be support Willow. Yeah, the problem I have is that with Chi-Yu is that all of the gameplay towards Chi-Yu is just the exact same.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine. I like the calcs on it are overbearing, but like each team can have a solution to it.
We're not saying it's broken.
Yeah, it kind of pressures the same thing. A lot of like the speed conversations that we've had recently. I mean, no one's done a lot of videos on that. Yeah, we're getting rid of Annihilate, but I just don't think it has like a home here. Realistically, there are more things that we like here. Like yeah, like Ruination kind of solves a lot of its problems. I don't know. I'm not a personally big fan of the gameplay behind it, but I'm not like ready to get rid of it. It hits everything but H Zorok for neutral, but you Thanos now. Oh yeah, the Zorok
does hit them for neutral, but for actual damage, no. It's a very gimmicky Pokemon. Kind of contingent on a lot of setup things and pivoting things like that. But I think in an overall like really strong decks, it's hard to justify drafting it for a lot of teams, especially when in 2 tiers above we have Gallade, Medi, and in this tier we have Valiant.
I really forgot about Gallade, to be honest.
Are we iffy on allowing Gallade? We think he might be a little...
No, I forgot that was on the tier. I said I was mentioning a lot Lopunny because that's a Pokemon like within the tier.
Yeah, Zapdos, Lop. I mean, like there's a lot of offensive fightings, and I think Annihilate is pretty bad without Terra. That's my only
Is Raging
thing
Bolt on this board?
I think so far.
It is on the board still. We haven't removed it yet.
Yeah.
All right.
I think with it. Oh yeah, it's not broken. Keep in mind, guys, when we ban things today, if we ban things or we get rid of things, it's not because they're broken. We have to cut 200 Pokemon, man.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta cut 200 guys.
Yeah.
There simply might
not be enough. I just think with AV, it's manageable. I think that the problem I have with that argument is it is the same argument against Dragapult, that it's all right if you have a Scarfer. It kind of pressures the same ideas that you have like limited things, so you just throw in a softness song, creates predictable gameplay. But I'm not super keen to get rid of it, so we don't have to dwell on Chi-Yu too much.
Keep in mind too, this is a community thing, right? We want everybody to
absolutely
kind of be involved and kind of like, I hate playing against this Pokemon. We can discuss it for sure. So let us know, like, as you go.
Mm-hmm.
Something else I kind of wanted to bring up is the Ogerpons. So if we want to talk about Pokemon that don't really have an identity without Terra, I feel like that's their whole shtick.
I think Ogerpon Wellspring, even without Terra, is still a very good Pokemon. So like I think that one definitely stays. Hearthflame is really tough to position without a lot of hazard removal. How do we play? I guess here's the question I have: how do we do hazard removal in Nat decks? I haven't played a lot of Nat decks, so do we?
I mean, if the Mon got the move in the back, like Defog is not a cut move, so like Hydreigon does not get Defog in Scarlet and Violet, but it gets Defog in general, so it can Defog. Same thing as it can Roost and Toxic and all those things, right?
To me, that's a more compelling reason to keep the Hearthflame, because I think that gives it an opportunity to be relevant without Terra.
Yeah, but I mean, but even then, Cornerstone could be cool without Terra. Yeah, I guess Cornerstone's cool. I guess they do have some interesting things about them. Teal can hold an item. Okay, we'll keep them for now. Remember, we have to be stingy. We have to get rid of things, though, guys. We have to get a lot of things. Yeah. I hate playing Zarek.
No, we're keeping Zeraora. I like that guy. That guy's fire.
Reduce X, I have tried this. It's hard to remove a lot without being overly hating biased. So, well, yeah, that's what we're trying to do, right?
We're definitely being... Oh, don't worry. I'm still being biased. So.
Yeah, it's my thing to hate. I hate things.
Yeah, we're going to be biased. Yeah, the only other thing I can see removing is Bax Caliber. I feel like doesn't have a home in Paldea decks, and I don't see how that ever improves in this decks.
Yeah, especially if Kyurem exists.
Yeah, there's just no home for this Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm with that. It's not a Pokemon I particularly think is impactful.
Well, yeah, I guess that's the main reason to remove it. You have to remove Arctibax as well.
Mm-hmm. Here, Keegan, I'm gonna go grab my plate real quick for dinner. If you want to keep
I'll keep entertaining with that and keep going through.
Stream.
All right. Let me move over to the Pokemon tab. Regarding Ogerpon, I keep Teal, Corner, and Wellspring. That's kind of where I'm at. Drafting a dedicated. The thing is I don't know it. I don't know if the Ogerpons are like even that particularly impactful in the Paldea metagame, to be honest. Like Hearthflame is really hard to leverage on a team, and I feel like we wouldn't be saying the same thing about like Arcanine Hisui, something that's in 12 points. Like, would we draft specific answer to that Pokemon? Like, that Pokemon wins games in similar ways, I think. So I'm okay with them for now, though I could see removing some of them. I definitely think the Cornerstone's a really interesting Pokemon. That's starting to grow on me a little bit. Backs with Chili Reception builds are cool. Yes, but Bax doesn't really break a lot anymore. Like, there's going to be a lot more fairies that are just naturally punishing to Bax in this format, and at 16, it's hard to really envision that Pokemon being super relevant in the metagame. But that's just me. Looking at the rest of 16, I kind of like everything else in this tier. I think everything else in this tier I really like for this format. I can see getting rid of Lele if people don't really like that gameplay, or like Terapagos. I think Terapagos is something that's been a very popular topic recently, is that people don't like that guy. I don't think it's dumb, but the form you can theoretically play 4 Ogerpons in a season. That would be one of the other main reasons to like remove some of them. Is that you're playing the same Pokemon basically a third of your season potentially, or on average, like, yeah, about on average a fourth of your season. Make your team only boring. That's true. That is a good consideration to have here, is limiting just the number of them because of the repetitive team building nature. That's kind of one of the main criticisms for allowing the Mega Lotties in the past, was the repetitive building, because it would be 4 Pokemon that are in that 18-17 point range. Rowan Keegan said Bax was better than Garchomp. See people in black and see the light. Look, my opinion on Garchomp has not really changed kind of at all. I would say. I think Garchomp is still a Pokemon that people say is very broken and very good and has a lot going for it, but people still use it in the same mediocre way all of the time. It's still a Pokemon that doesn't have a lot of impact. I think the misevaluation with Bax was its ability to actually break through. I think we kind of overestimated its ability to break through the format with the low amount of fairies. That's something Garchomp can do, is break through fairies a little bit. Excalibur does struggle with that. It is still very slow. So I think that team had a lot of other flaws to it, though. But yeah, I think Bax ended up being super overrated, unfortunately. Garchomp is perfectly balanced. I would say so. I think part of the balance comes from the usage of it. I think it's just unoptimal. I think people could do a lot better with their Garchomp teams. I agree. Remove Terapagos. Yeah, I think we probably could. It sounds like that's probably where we're going to get to. We had a really long conversation about that when we did the JJDL tiers. And people seem to think this Pokemon won't be around for long. I'm going to remove it for now. Let's remove it. I think we don't like Terapagos. All right, goodbye, Terapagos. All right, we've waffled a bit about Garchomp again somehow.
We're back with a bowl of spaghetti.
All right, we can Terapagos. I think that's something that.
Yeah, have you been removing them for me?
No, they derailed. They fucking baited me into talking about Garchomp again. Unfortunately, look, it is what it is.
Wait, no, hey.
We did
Terapagos off the board though. You got him off.
Yeah, we did make
a
really good point. We did make a good point about the Ogrepons, though, in terms of banning. That we probably should remove at least a few of them, because like playing Ogrepon a bunch of times is not really super fun.
But can you remove a form of a mon that's literally, because the form isn't holding an item?
Yeah, that's a problem.
That doesn't really make any sense to me. Right?
That's true. I also think Valiant is incredibly unfun to play. I think Valiant.
Terapagos can go. Is he not gone? I don't see him on the board.
Yeah, Terapagos should be gone now, unless the stream is lagging.
No, I see him.
And if the stream is lagging, you have to refresh. Make sure to like the video before you do so, or like the stream. I don't know how many we're at, but
dude, we had 12 likes and 21 viewers. Are we kidding me?
Yeah, we're X from Y right now. So if we can get X and hit Y, that would be very fire right now.
Super Pog.
Whatever those numbers may be.
The family is me buying $60 batting gloves today when I hit batting cages, and that's it.
When you coach under 11, you got all the expensive baseball gear.
Dude, I almost just bought a new wood bat just because fuck it today. They had the Victus J Rod, like the Julio Rodriguez one. It was like a white barrel and like an all black handle. It looked nasty. It looked so
fire.
I was so close.
What if you removed a Don Fan?
It was unfortunately $200.
These are separate. I think we're treating these as separate Pokemon.
Yeah, so Don
Iron Valiant is
they're not the same Pokemon. They're completely separate in the decks. Like, they're not the same.
Yeah.
Right? Just like Ash, thank you so much. Might be the GOAT.
Alright.
Can we consider Choice Specs Lele though? That seems crazy. Yeah, well, Lele was a mon I kind of brought up before I left. What do you think about Lele? Again, it's kind of another one of those like point and click, uninspiring Pokemon. I guess there is like the terrain aspect.
One thing I want to keep in mind is that the format doesn't become I don't want to say become Paldea Plus, I want to keep some of these interesting things around, but I do think Lele might be a step too far. I'm gonna remove it. I'm gonna remove it for now. We do have to make a lot of cuts, so I think we can be. Let's be aggressive with these guys early.
And you were mentioning Valiant. What do you feel about Valiant? You sound much. Shut up, stupid.
I think Valiant's fine right now. Do we have to remove Salamence? Have we not done that yet?
Yeah, it is. It is removed in general, John. Just being a dummy. You do comment now. Yeah. You can, but like, why? Right?
Yeah, this is not a choice. I think it's fine for now. I do think that like this format is gonna have a lot more answers in it, so I think like Valiant will probably be a lot better. You need some kind of point and click demons. I think the point and click demons are like better suited in like 12 to 14. Like something like I mentioned, Arcanine Hisui is a good role for that. Yes, Arcanine Hisui is really good for that. It's a balanced way to apply that role. I love Dracozolt for that role. That one's super fire. I think that range of points is better. I hate Finny. Remove it for me. I think we should remove John from the chat right now.
Why do we hate Finny?
No, John, you. If I could time you out, you might not be able to speak for a couple of minutes. That's all I gotta say.
All right, Ash. This is a really old video, but it gets the job done. It kind of explains basically what draft is. There you go. And the best way to learn about draft and like kind of what's going on, just watch a bunch of YouTube videos, and you're in the perfect place for that.
True.
Valiant is way better than Lele. Valiant is better. We are not banning things because they're broken. Not banning things because we're bugging. We're banning things because we're trying to cool it down to a 450 dex that is enjoyable and fun to play, right? I'll watch that and come back stream. We'll see you soon, Ash. But yeah.
Yeah, the entire goal of this project is to create a format that is interesting and fun to play with, and not to create like a true objective. These Pokemon would be allowed in this environment. So, John, you can watch out, buddy. Yeah, John, watch out for a certain week in a certain league. That's all I gotta say.
Take that. You gotta announce for BBR, big dog.
Is the schedule public until?
No, but are you playing in another league with John Jr. that's being uploaded on YouTube?
Bro, the JJDL is coming up. We could be on the same team.
Hopefully.
I know we're guaranteed playing once.
Count NFVs that are draftable on the draft board.
Yeah, the 450 is everything that strictly shows up on the draft board. So an example that I would say here is, let's say we had Salamence on the board. If we don't put Bagon on the board, you can't draft Bagon. Not that you would, but that would be the example. We're not going to like go out and make the 450 throw all the baby guys up. I mean, we could. I don't know if we want to put that level of effort.
Chio, I agree. Moon, I super disagree, bro. I think Moon sucks, actually. Moon might be removed just because he's terrible.
Well,
I don't think of him as a point-and-click guy at all. Like, at all.
I do not care if you leak my BBR schedule. Yeah, because no one's going to want to watch those games. It's gonna be tough to watch those games. I'll say that much.
I'm leaking the results. Lost week 1. Lost week 2. Lost week 3. Win week 4. I don't know who
True. Yeah, John played all his games already, and he's 0-7 going in against me. The goal of this format is not to create a strictly mid-tier format. Like we could do that, and that would like change our decision points. The goal is to create one that would be like fun to play. If we were creating a mid-tier format, like we would not be allowing stuff like Megalodius probably. For example.
We want it to be balanced but enjoyable.
Yeah. For
both parties when prepping and playing.
I think everything else in 16 though is fine. It doesn't do it
well or in an impressive way. I think part of the issue. I do think it's valid to say that about Chiyu. Like, I do think it's valid to say that about Chiyu, and I think that's one we'll come back to and kind of talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see.
I think everything else in 16 is probably fine, or at least I'm open to seeing. Like I could see Zera being a problem, but like that guy is super fun, and I want to have Mons on the board that aren't just all Paldea. Mm-hmm. Can we kick Keegan from the call so we can have a real commentator? This is mainly my idea to start with. So they can't. Unfortunately, you're stuck with me, big dog.
Okay. Next up,
No, I meant the only
15.
options capable. Oh, yeah. I think that's like where you want that type of Pokemon to be, though, mostly. I think like not that there won't be point and click stuff at the top, but I think like the Pokemon, like having that role of the Pokemon be filled in the mid tiers is generally better. I think.
Do you want to remind me, Bash, did they have Quick Claw on it? I know it was Quick Draw, but was Quick Claw allowed?
Not having viable weather options would be a flaw. We're going to have the weather. That how we tier the weather is not a problem for today because we'll have all of it. We're going that almost might be a stream in itself. Yo, can we remove Lele? I would probably refresh your stream if you still see Lele on the board.
you might
need to refresh your stream if you still see Lele.
No, that guy's been gone for about 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah, that guy's gone. We might need to do a stream on weather because that's like a super interesting topic.
Citrus? Okay. Yeah. I think Quick Draw is lame. We can talk about that as we go. It's just also the ramifications of getting rid of regular Slowbro, which I don't think could be terrible, right? I think removing some of the regenerator options isn't a terrible thing. But if we remove Slowking, we remove Slowbro, we remove Slowking, Galar, like a bunch of things. Citrus for it was Belly Drum. Fucking cheesy. That's.
I mean, we can just ban Quick Claw and it's fine. I'd say everything in 16 I want to try at least.
No.
15 is interesting. I love all the guys in 15.
I'll make some cuts though. Something I noticed.
What?
And again, something we have to keep in mind too is the amount of Pokemon we have of certain typings, right? We have a lot of dragons above. Is it bad to cut?
I was gonna say the first guy I wanted to remove here was Como.
Yeah,
I feel like that Pokemon is super just.
Mm-hmm.
Como just like feels do nothing a lot of the time without Z moves.
Yeah, it's a very mediocre Pokemon. I think it's kind of cool with Terra, but like, there's definitely better Pokemon.
Yeah, if we were doing Terra,
we have a million dragons.
I will 100% we have Como.
Million dragons, million fightings. What does he offer to this dex? Nothing.
He just becomes an undrafted slot, I think.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on Alomomola? That Pokemon is awesome, and that Pokemon will probably be staying.
He's ass. We have
dude, that guy's the perfect like cope pick that like you just like need a water guy. It's the perfect cope selection, I think. All right, goodbye, Como.
We ban Gorilla Tactics. I don't think it's necessarily broken. I don't like. We kind of talked about the last stream, Media Justice. We're not really doing complexes. The idea is to have everything on the board. Like, their line needs to be draftable.
Yep. So we're not going to ban abilities on a specific Pokemon. I don't know if there's like a broad ability that like stuff like Moody is like a clause in general. It gets really weird because you could say like we could item ban like Salamence and include regular Salamence. But like the spirit of the clause would be that we ban like items that are broadly used by multiple Pokemon or abilities used by multiple Pokemon. So we don't have to ban every Moody Pokemon, for example. Though most of the Pokemon with Moody that don't have it are probably not going to end up on the board anyway.
Okay.
So
anything else in 15?
Nothing screams out to me.
Another draft, nothing mon would be Quaffle.
15 feels like a candidate. Like all of these Pokemon, I feel like are going to move down. And I kind of like all of them right now, and I feel like...
What about Quackleval? He feels like a do-nothing.
Yeah, that's another do-nothing guy. That was the only other one that was speaking to me. Like, I feel like this tier we're going to, like, gut out a lot of, like, 14, 13, and 12, and these guys just kind of slide down into that. But I think Quackleval is just, like... It doesn't do anything. I think Jirachi's really good. I really like Jirachi. I was going to actually... I was considering drafting it for BBR this season, but the points didn't work out because someone took away our points.
When I can't draft
I think it's a really good dual threat of like a really good like utility with like rocks and stuff like that, and then it's like a good setup sweeper. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on with Jirachi. I just don't think we see it in Paldea because of Dark Spam. I think it's a little bit of a hostile format for it.
We see
so I'd like
numbers.
to keep
what do you
it
mean
around
lower
here.
Numbers? You mean?
He wants to see lower down the tier. If you're looking at this tier list and you want to see lower down the tier, I just open up the OGDL doc from last season. It's going to be the same for now. We're not tiering
We've got a couple of the
anything.
bottom tiers, but
Yeah, but we're not. Nothing has been changed from the original tiers yet. Do you want to spoil the BBR team? If you go through my channel, you can see the entire BBR team like on videos. I will say I did not draft a lot of new Pokemon. That's for sure. On this season.
J-Bear, what we're doing is we're culling down. We're making a dex of about 450ish, creating the most balanced but also enjoyable draft league humanly possible. Last stream, we basically culled everything that's cheesy, bullshit, or broken. This stream, we're kind of culling the decks down more. We have about 200-ish Pokemon that we need to cull out, and then we'll start running some speed tours out of the server. And eventually, the goal is, once we kind of adjust and figure things out, and kind of get word from people on how the teams felt, we will run an OGDL season, see how the project went.
For sure. Hell yeah. Let's go into 14. This is where things are gonna get interesting. Man, Lilligant is one of the guys I want to see go here.
I'm fine. I'm on with that.
I think there's a big question mark. It doesn't do anything.
Spaghetti. There you go. Dinner can.
Yeah, Mon Spaghetti.
Yeah, we need to call. There's about 600 draftable Pokemon when we start stream. That's what we're discussing. We need to call a lot more, in my opinion, too. But we can keep going through like multiple routes, you know.
I think Lilligant's got to go. I never feel like that Pokemon.
Cyrus, we're gonna get there in our at our own time. We're still discussing 14. Literally on the screen, we're still discussing. So, don't worry, big dog. We'll get there. I'll move it farther so you can see, but we will get there at our own time. All right? Yeah.
All right. As I was saying, Lilligant Hisui, I don't like that Pokemon. I think it's kind of boring and doesn't do a lot.
Again, another draft nothing Pokemon. I've seen.
Yeah, they're just like it's not gonna. It's
and
gonna
Amo
be,
even was like crackhead. I bring healing wish, no attacks. Lilligant.
It's just gonna be super replaceable by a lot of things.
Yeah.
Throughout basically throughout all the tier with the Natex Pokemon that come back, just kind of gets isolated in its role. Not really relevant.
There's a Pokemon. I actually think there's a lot of Pokemon we can cut to 14, especially considering a lot of 15 is going to move down. I think that Tinglu is boring as fuck. I think that guy's so lame.
My favorite way to think of Tinglu is if everyone makes the meme Pokemon have 4 move slot syndrome. This guy has 4 move syndrome, and that he has 4 usable moves. But this Pokemon I think it's a really good tool to have in a metagame. But this metagame is going to be a lot more centered around fighting types than dark types, it feels like, to start. So, I feel like Tinglu is a Pokemon we remove, and if we feel like we need that dark check to come back, then we bring him back. Yeah. But,
I'm fine with that.
I kind of agree.
There's so many Pokemon, I genuinely do not care about this. Dude, you ready to piss off the John Jr. believers? Ready?
Yeah, who are we removing?
Get Boulder out of here.
Oh, Iron Boulder is just not a Pokemon without Terra. J-Bar said the Thundies are redundant. Well, alright. So here's one, I guess, stipulation with how we're framing this, is we are treating this like a dex, in that this is a quote-unquote regional dex. We'll name our region after. We'll come up with creative names for what the region would be. So if we're having one of the Thundies, we have to have both, or we have to have neither. So we can't remove Thundy T and keep regular Thundurus, or remove Thundurus and keep Thundy T. Kind of have to keep both of them to fit the frame of our. No, it's not 4 moves. It's 4 stat moves, 4 other moves. That's double the amount of usable moves it has.
I don't think it has 4 stat moves. I think it's got 2. It really has.
Tri-Fields were done it with Boulder. Well, that's what I mean. We're gonna remove Iron Boulder. I think Iron Boulder. As I said, I want to keep some of these new Pokemon. Man, Iron Boulder is so irrelevant without Terra. I hate to say it, John, but
so lame.
You're the only human on planet Earth who has done well with that Pokemon in draft that I've seen.
Yeah, I really think it's a super, super boring Pokemon. Doesn't offer much to it. Does he's a no draft guy unless unless you have someone in your league like a John Jr. who's I love this guy, I'm drafting him. Right? You can ban all the fairies. I guess you can say there's no field glass in this, but I don't want to ban Torn T and Lando T. I don't want to ban them.
Yeah. The idea is that Torn T would still be in the metagame.
We could ban Thundy as a whole, right?
We could. I like Thundurus though. I think Thundurus is a really awesome Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Another Pokemon, I think Blacephalon came up a few times, and I feel like people didn't circle back on that because that might not be a Pokemon that your community is super familiar with. Because a lot of your community is like Gen 8 and Gen 9.
Because if this Natdex pursuits back, it's a whole tool to kind of make that guy relevant. But he's also he's a point and click mon with a very, very glaring weakness. I think that's fine.
Yeah, I think it's okay. What other Pokemon are here? I like everything else kind of. I really like Slitherwing in this deck. I know we've like hated on this Pokemon in like Paldea. I think this Pokemon's gonna be really good in this fighting based metagame. I really like this Pokemon right now.
Okay.
That's one thing I want to point out, like looking at it immediately.
I'm a big Slitherwing hater. I think the guy's doo-doo butter. But I can see it.
Growing up not fun to play Goodbye Mega Sableye. We're gonna get into the philosophy.
Yeah, is he in the next tier? No.
No, we got a while till we get to our good pal.
I need someone to break the tie on Terra Bolt or Terra Gambit for Smogon Tour. We're at 34-34. I also agree with their Terrakion is redundant. I'm also a Terrakion hater. I'm fine with Terrakion being gone too. Again, keep in mind how many fighting types we have literally in this tier. Right? And again, it moves up and down, but there's also a bunch of fighting types in 15. I'm fine with Terrakion going. I'm a big Terrakion hater. I think that guy either has like, he's 100 or 0 on matchups. He's either just smokes a team on lead, or he's awful.
Are you avoiding removing a Mega? To remove a Mega, we would need to move the entire Pokemon line. So we lose regular Sableye, which I guess is not a big loss, but it's not 0.
That's not what we're talking about. We'll get to what we're talking about with that guy in a minute. Because again, one of the goals is all playstyles being viable. Stallo's not viable without Mega Sableye, but we'll talk about it later. Massive Cobalion hater here. That guy's also ass. But
did we already remove that guy? No, he's still here. He might be gone soon. Other Pokemon in this tier we could remove. Kind of like the other guys here, to be honest. I think this tier is fine.
Chad, is there anybody else you see in this tier that you're like, this guy offers nothing, he's lame? I don't think so. I think these are all interesting Pokemon. Well, I'm a Skarm hater, but I think it's good to have Skarm. However, I will say...
Well, Skarm actually has its tools back in that deck, so it's actually usable a little bit. Very niche role, but like it's usable.
Yeah, I was thinking Slowbro Rowan King, definitely not. Yeah, see, you kind of have to be careful. Do you really need Nate with Blaziken? Yeah, because I think they play very differently. Also, I don't think we have Blaziken in the decks. I think Blaziken's not there. Blaziken
because, I mean, if you want to play with Mega Blaziken, by all means. If Speed Boost Blaziken is low tier, then maybe Mega Blaziken could be regular. Who's to say?
But what do you call it? I think, unless there's anybody else, just remove the Swords of Justice. I like Keldeo. I'm actually not opposed to removing Cobalion, Terrakion, and Virizion. All nothing Pokemon to me.
Oh, Virizion's definitely gone. That Pokemon just...
You know, just thematically. We gotta call the decks. Don't feel very strongly on Cobalion myself. Just remove them all. Might as well.
Yeah, you know, Virizion, we just don't even have to get there. That Pokemon can go. I think Terrakion, I do think is kind of interesting enough to keep for now. Like, I mean, we have to get 200 Pokemon gone, but like, that's gonna be a tough ask to do in the first pass through, I think.
Going to 13, I like Buzzwole and Conkeldurr. I think they're both interesting fighting types opposed to the ones we have had before. While it might be pretty top heavy, Conk is slow, bulky, but hits like a fucking truck and has crazy strong priority. I think that's cool.
Defog,
big
too.
Downside. Yeah, Defogger. I think Buzzwole's a super interesting Pokemon. I love Buzzwole.
Yeah, Buzzwole's a really good Pokemon to have in this fighting based tier as well. Which is super important.
Yeah. I love Buzzwole. I think it has a very unique typing and like skill set. Like I know Heracross too, but like the way it plays is completely different. However, I want Corviknight gone. I want that bum out of my deck.
That Pokemon's super mid. I would rather Skarmory. Like if we picked like Skarmory or this, I think is kind of a fair
we have 3
assessment.
flying steel types on the board right now. I want one of them out of the decks, and that is going to be
we remove Corviknight. That's my least favorite one.
That's Sam Sulik right there. That is a good Buzzwole nickname.
I'll remove them as we go, so you can keep your stream on the
actual board.
Yeah.
John would love Sam Sulik. Dude, John,
Dude,
you don't need to watch Sam
that's
Sulik because I
crazy.
know that's not going to be good for your diet. I know
No,
that's not going to be good
the
for your
Sam
diet.
Sulik diet is crazy.
Yeah, the Sam Sulik diet is whatever he wants.
No,
in
no, no, oh,
in a healthy,
no. There's no way
well.
removing Dracozolt. That guy's super fun.
Keegan is one of Dragozolt's one times. We're not getting rid of
Dude,
him.
Dragozolt's my guy. That Pokemon's super fun.
He can play one Gen 8 least, use Dracozolt, and was like, this is God.
Dracozolt, Kartana, the most fun team ever.
Can we remove Monkey Dory? I don't like it. It's so funny.
The one Pokemon immediately, without like going alphabetically, that I want to remove is probably Togekiss. That Pokemon is super egregious.
Really? Why do you think so?
I just think the gameplay with it is so boring. Maybe the metagame's fast enough that it's not great now, but I feel like no gameplay with Togekiss has ever been fun.
I think Togekiss is best in like that supportive role, as like that defensive fairy. Again, another Fogger, USRM. I'm not opposed to removing it. I know a lot of people don't like it. You know, that's fine. We can remove it.
We can bring it back if we feel like we need more fairies, but I never really.
You got any reasons for Hoopa you goodbye? John might kill you, Burger.
All right. The reason I want to keep Hippo specifically is I think we need to stream on weather. I think that has to be its own like separate topic and how we.
Oh, like talk about weather later? I mean, couldn't we talk about it right now? I don't see why we couldn't discuss it now.
The problem is I have like a big. It gets into tiering and how I want to tier weather.
Okay.
It's not about removing. I think we keep everything weather related right now, and we tier it very differently.
I do agree with you in the sense of like, John, I'm assuming you're saying it's needless in the sense of like, when it comes to sand setters, we have 3 of them, and I think the other 2 are just better and have better gameplay loops.
But yeah, the reason to keep multiple sand setters though is that you have multiple sand abusers that you would want on different teams.
Yeah, but Gigalith, that's the value pick. Like, do you get value
yeah, but like I
or
think you can make an
Titar?
argument for like Tyranitar / Gigalith. No, I'm going the opposite way with weather. Actually, I think we're gonna make it cheaper. That's a hot take I have. That's why I want to get into it later because it's a very big like tiering discussion. Like Tyranitar, Excadrill, like Hippo, Dracozolt, and then like Gigalith to like be safety valves for like those teams. Like having like you have 2 sand abusers that can be on 2 different teams realistically, and having 3 weather setters to protect that I think is critical if we're gonna have both. If we remove Dracozolt, then we can remove Hippo. Is my thinking.
I don't want to make a dex decision based on Dracozolt. Keeping a Pokemon in solely for Dracozolt seems not cool. I think that's
well, I mean, it would be the
literally
same logic
only
to keep a
sand abuser.
Pokemon in to have a separate sand setter for Excadrill.
No, I don't think that's not why I think that we keep like Gigalith. I think we get rid of Hippo because there's fucking 3 Sandstream mons, and it's the worst on the
But
playstyle.
the reason that you keep the reason that you mentioned Gigalith as a backup is because in most situations there are like 2 relevant sand setters. You have an extra sand setter in the format to allow people to take Tyranitar on a normal team. If you have 2 sand abusers, then you would want the 3rd in Hippo.
Have you
Keegan's
ever
reasoning
seen...
is super because it's boiling down to I don't like this. Is if that's for Togekiss, that's fine. But like we have to make those decisions to get to the lower decks. The reasoning towards keeping Hippo is like you want to keep enough sand setters if you're gonna have multiple sand abusers.
Have you ever seen a good sand team with fucking Hippowdon as a setter?
Yeah, my team.
Only with Dracozolt though. That's not. It's not like
It's a good
that
secondary
is quite
core
literally
option.
the only. I think SantaCon doesn't count, King Wag. You better watch it, buddy.
Yeah.
Good luck dealing with Giga. Thanks.
That is
John.
crazy. That is crazy hate from the chat.
My thing is, I think Dracozolt is literally the only sand abuser that fits with Hippo on a good team. Because they beat.
That's true. That would probably be fair.
Right? So the extra sand team that we're allowing is Hippo Dracozolt. Assuming people are drafting somewhat optimally. I genuinely don't think Hippo fits with like your Excadrill. Right? Titar is drafted on its own.
Yeah.
I've even seen
I'd say you
Gigalith
ban
drafted
both
on
or
its
one.
own.
I think you ban both or keep both.
Ban both. But why are we making tiering decisions based on Dracozolt? Dracozolt can function with the other two Sandsetters. And there's only
It could,
two viable
but then like you have two sand abusers for 2 real sand setters, and then that creates a problem in drafting where people want T-Tar for their non-sand teams.
And
then people draft
increases the
Excadrill and
value of
Dracozolt,
T-Tar.
don't get a sand setter, and their team sucks as a result.
Are you drafting Dracozolt before you get a Sandsetter? You shouldn't be.
I mean, you shouldn't.
That's just
That
bad
is
drafting.
true. Why not punish someone for trying to draft sand after someone already got one? Well, I can't. All right, the example that first comes to mind, I can't spoil the BBR draft, of course. But like that would be an example of someone like could get punished in that scenario. I do think like you have to.
Yeah, but we all acknowledged on that draft that wasn't a good decision round one.
Oh, of course not. No, I do.
I don't
you
like.
have to
I
have...
don't like coddling bad drafting so that people don't end up with bad teams. Do not.
Yeah,
draft your
but is someone taking T-Tar off of a? Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on your perspective of it. I don't think someone drafting T-Tar for a non-sand team should remove Dracozolt from the board at that point. At that point, we should remove it if that's the perspective we want to go and remove Hippo. Then Dracozolt doesn't have space on the board to be a consistent drafted option.
But what if someone but Hippo gets drafted on non-sand teams? More probably.
Yeah, you have but then you have 3. Then you have 3 options. Like you grow the number of options.
Teams with a sand option. That's also fucking.
But are people gonna draft T-Tar and Hippo on like 2 non-sand teams in one draft?
It doesn't matter. They're sand.
That's what I mean. This is why I think like this becomes another stream, because this is such a we have this is a much longer topic and we're already off track. We're off track on like
I just don't get the argument. I just really don't get it.
I think, well, the argument is that you always want one more setter than abuser, in theory.
Then we're not going to ban any of the weather people, right? We just legally can't ban any weather, and it becomes a weather-centric meta. And that's fucking lame. There's not 3 sunsetters. There's not 3 rain setters. There's 2.
There are 3 sunsetters in this tier list right now.
Who are they?
Charizard, Y, Torkoal, and Ninetales.
Charizard doesn't count as a sunsetter.
And it is a sun. It does set the sun. It is in theory a sunsetter. I'm down to remove some of the weather. Like there will be weather. We didn't remove Walking Wake, but like that's a Pokemon that we can remove, for example. I'm just saying, if we include Dracozolt, like we could remove Dracozolt.
Why can't
here.
That is also a good point. Why can't Excadrill and Dracozolt be on the same team? On hard sand, you can get both.
They could be. That's true. You could.
And then if both are on the same team. We have 1 sand guy getting drafted. We have 2 just taking up space on our board. I don't see the point in having 3. I have never been in a draft where T-Tar, Hippo, and Gigalith all go.
Well, no, because Gigalith would go to the one of the sand drafters.
Yeah. So why do we need to account?
But then
for all 3
Dracozolt
getting
doesn't have a
drafted?
spot on the board. If that's it, I don't know. My argument is it's either both of them or they both stay or they both go.
I know, but you haven't explained why. I don't get why.
I did. I think I made it pretty clear at this point.
No, nobody's against weather, Pablo.
We're not against weather. I think like weather has a very good place to exist, and like why I want to talk about weather is I want it to be.
That's what I'm worried about is creating a metagame whereas if we cut a lot of things and we're too scared to cut weather, is we end up having 2 sand teams, 2 sun teams, because sun is really good right now, and a rain team. That's 5 out of 16 teams having weather. That sucks.
That's true.
Alright? So, I think potentially cutting out one of those Sandsetters too is big. I also don't think that getting I don't think it's a bad thing if we see someone get T-Tar Drill, right? Or Gigalith Drill, and then another person drafts T-Tar because this fits great on my team, then they have an extra, 10 points at the end of the draft when we move Dracozolt down, because he's definitely going to move down from here, wherever he's at.
Yeah, he's not a 13-point guy on this board.
I get Dracozolt. Let's go. Nice.
Yeah.
Cool little
we can see how it plays out. That's just a personal opinion I have on the building this type of board.
Alright, is there anything else in 13 we're thinking? I heard some Hoopa and Bounce.
People don't like Koopa. That's probably fine to remove. It's just not a super inspiring Pokemon to play against.
I feel like it's unlikely for 2 of each. I've seen a lot of leagues in which both Torkoal and Ninetales go. I've seen leagues in which multiple sand setters go, and it's definitely a possibility, especially with the more open decks. I don't think you get 2 rain teams because I think Politoed sucks, and I actually want to remove Politoed. We'll get there.
Polytoad's unusable.
Yeah, and hail. Like, snow is a viable option. There's so many weather options. I think getting rid of some of them is...
Well, I think... Yeah, I don't think hail is a viable option, but we'll get there.
Yeah. Next, we got rid of Hoopa.
Yeah,
Is there
both
anything else in
Hoopas are
this
gone.
tier? What about God Monkey
Monkey Dory is kind of uninspiring as
Yeah.
a Pokemon.
Not a great mon, in my opinion. I don't know. It's just worse Gengar.
And Gengar is actually like kind of becomes more interesting in this tier with all the fighting types.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to just have on a team to deter gameplay.
Yeah, it's a good Scarfer, especially in a fighting heavy meta. If you look at the top of the board, Scarf Gengar's
Oh, I see another guy who's got to go. Scolipede's so boring.
You don't like Scully?
I
don't hate Scully. I guess like
it just
Z
leads.
moves.
It does the same thing every game. It leads. It clicks protect. It's just either SD set up a spike. It's just I don't know. It's just like a lead every game.
Yeah, I guess.
I feel like
I guess SD sets aren't as good now because there's no Z,
Yeah.
so it's really lacking in power.
I
How
think
do
it's
we
just
feel
such a
about-
linear Pokemon that it's just unexciting.
How do we feel about Suicune?
I think
Oh, Gengar is
I
banned as a
like
Mega
it.
Gengar. Yeah, Gengar is banned as a Mega
I think there's a
Gengar.
lot more ways to manage Suicune.
Take out Hydra Apple. What did you say about Suicune?
I think it's fine. Like I think like there's a reason it's 13 points now. I think it's not as overbearing as
Yeah,
like
it gets its tools back though. It does get Toxic back, which is the main tool in my opinion.
yeah.
Getting back. Not Scully the goat. Yeah, but Gengar is banned. You're right. We'll talk. We haven't 100% decided on the Pokemon. It's something we discussed at least today. But be careful. But...
Our Chalon. Why does our Chalon have to go? I'm confused about that one. Why it's particularly wrong here.
Yeah, I think Archelon's fine. I think he's a cool guy. Cool typing, but has its big downsides. Cool
We
one.
also can't remove. I see another comment about removing Tara. Mega Tyranitar's gotta stay. I'm sorry, that guy's too fire.
Dude, but that's also if we're talking about technical sand setters, that means that there's 4.
You know what? I forgot. We do have that. You know what? We can. Maybe we do have Mega T-Tar. Maybe we can remove it. I forgot about that guy. That guy's more than a technical setter. That guy's an actual sand setter. So yeah, no, I always forget. I forget Mega T-Tar exists. All right, we can remove Hippo. You know what? We can remove.
I mean, like the
Hippo.
move is cool, but it's a slow Pokemon. It's annoyingly, it's kind of annoying to kill. But I'm not gonna ban a base 80 mon that can't set up.
Yeah, you know what? Hippo can go. I forgot about Mega
We're
T-Tar.
not tearing
I
right
just
now.
waffled.
Peep the pin, Pablo. We're not tearing. Not tearing today. We're just calling the board. All right.
I think Suicune is fine though. I think that Pokemon is the gameplay with it is perfectly reasonable.
Swampert, I want to keep. I love Swampert. I think it's a great glue piece. However, I do want to discuss the fact that we will probably have to close some of these water ground types because there's like fucking 7 of them in the decks.
Yep.
So we'll probably get rid of some of them.
Congrats, you have Terra Gambit.
Oh. Alright.
You do. We also love Megapert. That's true. That Pokemon's super fire.
Make rain good again. On to 12 though, right? I don't think there's anything else in 13.
No, I think we're good with that.
Yeah.
We removed a lot of the third. That's what I mean. Is I think this is where we're gonna start to remove so many Pokemon that we can make space for those top guys.
Yeah, and we can shift tiers around obviously because of it. Alright, anything in 12 that really jumps out. Answer Hydroplane, and I actually think that's valid. That guy sucks, and he has like that random stupid Mickey move with his 700 base power.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of lame. So.
People are saying Iron Crown because it doesn't do anything. Eventually, you're gonna try to balance typings. Yes, we're gonna do this initial run through and figure it out.
What we're gonna do? Are you as agree? Yes. We will start balancing typings. Yes, class. And future streams, what we're gonna do in between is kind of look at the numbers and see like, okay, we're really lacking in this area. We have 74 of these Pokemon. Crown is a little tough though. Crown is definitely a little tough. Do we feel strongly about Kingdra? People are saying Kingdra.
I think like it's
Rain is
only
really
good.
strong
In,
in
I feel like
Madness.
it's only good. It's only usable in rain.
Yeah, but Rain is really
And-
strong right now.
Yeah, and like I feel like rain is just gonna want to be centered around Mega Swampert anyway. Then I think we can just remove Kingdra. It's got no role outside of rain, and there's a lot of good things with rain going on. So I think
Isn't
it's
it
kind of
mini
like
Nidoking?
it's kind of a
I
little
mean,
extra.
no, I think it's a little bit more than that, Pablo. Nidoqueen's just a bulkier version, but like it hits very, very close to as hard. It's just a trade-off. They're basically the same Pokemon, but one of them hits really, really hard and is decently bulky. One of them is really, really bulky and hits decently hard. Weekly Cleavor? Maybe. Maybe. Is that in this tier? Okay, let's go one at a time, because we're kind of bouncing around a little bit. We'll start with Crown. How do you feel about Crown? I feel like the only thing Crown does is those, like, booster sweeps. I feel like we have a lot of those boosters.
It doesn't really do them well, either.
Yeah. I think
It's
Crown
really bad
removing
at
it
it.
is fine.
That guy's already gone.
How do we feel about Hawlucha? Do we like Hawlucha terrain? That's what I was thinking about.
Is it like fine with like the mid terrain guys we have? Like, is it that egregious with like
we got
Finny and
Feeny.
Boo?
We got Feeny, Rillaboom. I mean, it functions pretty similarly, right?
But like with the defensive ones, I feel like it's not as egregious. Like it's like Rillaboom Hawlucha hasn't really been a thing in Paldea, and like Finny Hawlucha wasn't much of a thing. I think it's worth seeing because I think it's an interesting Pokemon to have. There's a lot you can do with it. And like if its biggest enabler is Coco. Like if we wanted Coco, then we would remove Hawlucha, I think. But I think it's interesting at Pokemon for now.
Okay, Cleavor. We got rid of Samurott, right?
Yeah.
Do we get rid of Cleavor?
It can mix, do not miss, which like I feel like just
Edge can miss too.
Yeah, well that's what I mean. Like this can miss, but then I'm like, oh, Samurott can miss too.
Yeah, I personally think the concept of doing damage while getting up hazards.
It's not fun.
I think is it way more egregious with Samurott? Yes,
absolutely,
100% because it spikes and it's also a much better move, right? Being a rock bug type is also pretty tough, but again, we have to cull and make cuts in some places, and I think getting rid of Cleavor is fine.
People keep saying Celebi. I really like Celebi right now.
I think Celebi has some big downsides, but it's like cool.
Yeah. Nidoqueen, super fire. Nihilego, amazing Pokemon. Love a good Nihilego. Obstagoon. Someone mentioned Obstagoon earlier. What does it bring outside?
I think he's an interesting guy. I like the kind of fast guts attacker. It's really good in a balance builds, but it really sucks into everything else. So like, I think it's cool to have Pokemon like that. I'm not opposed to it. I think it's fine.
Okidogi is interesting.
I think Oki's fine. Do we hate the ability though? The ability is lame.
I think like we have a lot of fightings. I feel like we end up removing him eventually, maybe because it's just not like super exciting as a Pokemon.
Yeah,
would be a Celebi enjoyer. I mean, it's a Gen 3 Mon, or it's a Mon that's good in ADV. I gotta rep it.
I'm with getting rid of him. There's a lot of Pokemon in this tier that literally like do what he does better.
Yeah, I think he's easy to have back too.
Tangrowth, no, I like Tangrowth a lot.
People really want to remove Raikou. People have been like clamoring for this Raikou
Hate
remove.
Raikou. You know what? We can remove Raikou if we want.
If the streets hate Raikou, then the streets can.
How are we looking wise, like electric wise, above us? We have Bolt, Point,
we have
Zolt, Thundee, Zapdos, Zera. Yeah, go ahead and get rid of it. There's plenty.
It's already gone. Don't worry.
Don't you worry, big dog.
The only other Pokemon in here I feel like that I would
do completely different things, man. I mean, they're both grass types, but they function completely different rather than like checking grasses and grounds.
The only other Pokemon here,
U-turns around. Shaman kind of comes in, gets those splash drops, clicks buttons. It's a lot more offensive in most matchups, and it healing wishes a lot more.
No, Bulu's staying. Bulu's super fire.
Is he? Is there a reason to have Bulu in a dex when Rillaboom exists?
I mean, I know which one I'd rather keep. But that's just me.
It does get toxic back, but it still has nerf recover, right?
That's just me. The only Pokemon I'm super interested in removing here is Toxapex. I feel like that Pokemon is either terrible or unusable.
It is a Pokemon people just genuinely dislike using and playing against.
I love playing with it in like OU and stuff. It's just not usable in draft.
Like he was good, getting Scald is so nice. No, he's not.
Getting Scald is nice. If the only reason to use it is Scald, then goodbye. Well, yeah, we can talk about the grass because we also have Mega Venusaur, which is like a super based Pokemon too. If we feel like we have too many grass,
I don't know.
if we feel like we have too many grass types, why is Mega Sableye still there? Because we need to have Stall as like a reasonable play style.
Yeah, so
in the
I
metagame.
was gonna get there when we got down lower, but we can just talk about it now. Mega Sableye is there not because it's good, and like it's a fun Pokemon to draft, but I think something important, something that I hate about Paldea, is that multiple playstyles are not viable. You really just play offense and that's it. And Stall cannot function, especially in Nat decks with the higher power levels, without Mega Sableye on it. And I think that there should be an option to draft Stall. Do I think Stall is good? No. Can we get rid of Dondozo? We will get there. I'll let you know, Pash. But I think that what do you call it? Stall needs to be good, and Mega Sableye is how it's good. Again, if you look at high level draft league Stall play, you don't see Mega Sableye not on the team. You don't see Stall drafting in Gen 9 specifically for that. Right?
Stop using Pexino, you know. That guy's so much fun.
I thought he said you're just a bad man. I thought he said you're a bad man. I thought he said you're bad man. I was gonna die.
Dude, I might be bad. That's still up for discussion, I think.
I think everything this year is fine for now. The only thing
I think we might have too many grasses. Someone brought that up.
I personally
we revisit that later. I don't think we can get to 450. At least I can't tonight. I definitely am gonna go to sleep at some point.
Oh yeah, we're not gonna.
But I think that one we need to think about a little bit more.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with Bulu going, but I know you're kind of.
I think he's fire. I don't know. I think it's nice to like play. I don't want this dex to just end up being like Paldea plus a few other guys.
Now I do want to get rid of Amoonguss at 11.
I don't think he's good, but I do think forcing like random safety goggles for no reason is like not fun.
My thing is like in dexes, you see Amoonguss drafted a little bit in Paldea, but we can go back to Church, but let me finish on Amoonguss real quick. Right? I think that Amoonguss is okay to go because when you see Tangrowth and Amoonguss in the same decks, do you ever see Tangrowth or Amoonguss drafted? If we're getting the regen grass, it's gonna be Tangrowth. It's a better mon. We also have Mega Venusaur a tier above it with a better typing. I mean, there's a million grass poisons. I think that having another grass poison, another grass regen mon is kind of meh. Dirge is a bit questionable. It's bad without Terra. That's true. I guess like Dirge doesn't really fit on any team styles, right? Again,
well, there are a lot of fighting types, and it is a ghost type.
I guess it is a good offensive fighting check. Unless they get
and there's a lot of more
though.
grasses in this tier. I do actually think it will have a role here to play. That I think it actually is pretty decent.
We'll wait.
Hidden power will not be allowed, to my unfortunate disappointment.
We'll see, but it's kind of hard to allow hidden power.
We're not going to allow it. We should not allow
it.
It.
Gets it, and it's like, oh, it doesn't. Why do we need Rilla, Tang, Bulu, and Mega Venu all at once? I feel like we can just have two. I don't think all of those Pokemon do the same thing. I think that there can be a lot of grass types in this decks, but
yeah, I do. I like the grass roll is pretty important, especially like when the ground types become better.
Yeah, Unaware. He's also a good Unaware mon. There's not a lot of good Unaware mons, man. It's Clef and Dirge. I'm not gonna pretend Quagsire's good. You can't make me.
Man, we got a lot of Pokemon that I think we can remove here.
11.
Going down the list.
Yeah. Do you want to start shooting some?
Goodbye, Clodsire. That mon's just.
That mon sucks.
I've never seen a Clodsire's a Pokemon that just gets shut down by an item, and it's useless.
I've never seen a mon required to run Menzler before. Mesprit is an interesting one because I like Mesprit, but I feel like teams have two Uxies a lot of the time because they draft Uxie and then they're like, ah, shit, I guess I'll get Mesprit. Is that worth? I don't know. Grimmsnarl's interesting too. Do we think that guy's lame? I'm fine with keeping like one Prankster Screens guy in the decks.
Yeah, I think this Pokemon's like generally fine. I do think you still need dark checks in the format. Like I think it still has a really good role to play. I do think Prankster Screens is going to be maybe frustrating. This Pokemon for me is a watch list right now. I know we want to like keep culling these guys, but like for me, I want to start with him.
Okay. I think Bulk is play the way Grim is played. It's named Bulk is cool. Yeah, it definitely has more things it can do than just screens, for sure. All right. Anything else in 11? Do we want? I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch more. Did we want
The
to get rid
Entei,
of,
yeah, spread the
Cobalion?
Entei hate. Yeah, Entei is very lame and very bad.
Factor spread Entei hate. Goodbye. And here's another guy. We have a lot of fire types above offensively. I don't think we've caught a single fire type.
Yeah, I think Cobalion is another one people were
Yeah,
asking to get removed. And I think we could
I
probably
think we
get
were
rid of
kind of
him.
saying just like all the swords of justice are kind of lame.
Yeah.
Porygon 2. I don't know if I hate Porygon 2.
The Porygons were actually ones that we were considering getting rid of. They're kind of like bad.
Yeah, I agree. I think
Like, I
Porygon 2
don't-
is terrible. I know it would get toxic back, but I think 8 recovers is terrible for that guy. It also gets teleported back.
He does. Yeah, I think we can just get rid of the Porygons to save.
He can immediately.
Entei, like I love Entei. It's just not here.
Haxorus is
Wait,
another
is
Pokemon
Hax-
with a lot of the offensive dragons above. Is he ever getting drafted?
Yeah. There's a lot more fairy types as well that dissuade Choiceman Outrage, which is like its main problem.
In that dex, we have a ton of dragons. So, okay.
And there's a lot of fairy types as well, which like it's good counterplay.
You probably want to
for
cut
that
down
Pokemon.
pure normals. Yeah, I guess there will be a lot of those too. I think Mandibuzz is fine to keep. I think it fits on certain really fat balanced playstyles. As much as I think it's kind of bad. Do we cut Diggersby? I think he's fun, man. I like Diggersby.
No, Diggersby's him. Diggersby though?
might be
Yeah,
good,
shout out
yeah.
Diggersby.
Crobat
Diggersby
is
is
a
that
certified draft league Pokemon. I like that guy.
Yeah. Dude, my XY brain would never be able to get rid of Diggersby.
Diggersby though? Yeah, I think Diggersby is okay. Okay, let's have a conversation about Gator.
Gator?
I've seen him get drafted non-terra in like 6 years.
Hey, John's kind of right. For Alligator, just
I
not
think that's valid.
a guy on this.
You're gonna keep all of the dark flyings. How many are there? Mandibuzz and Moltres.
Once again, I'd say we're gonna get into the typing later. Like it's hard for us to have a frame of reference looking at 11 about the typing of the rest of the decks.
And also, yeah, we're not thinking about types. So if there's too many grasses, maybe we'll cut one of Shaman Celebi. But I don't think you guys have used those Pokemon.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think
like,
you guys
our
have
goal-
used Shaman and Celebi.
I would say like explicitly the goal today is to get close. Like we don't have to hit 450, but the goal is to get close enough that we can get to a point where we actually make micro adjustments to consider typing and stuff like that.
We can cut Honchkrow just for you guys. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's fine. I do want to cut one of Staraptor and Swallow. I think they're both very hard to draft. I actually low-key want to cut Staraptor. I think that guy's impossible to draft, and I like Swallow's versatility. It definitely moves down in points. It's way too expensive.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah, I
like
can get rid of
versatility. I
Staraptor.
like the scrappy Boom Burst, and I like the Guts Facade.
We were talking about the water grounds. Seismitoad is one of the ones I want to keep though.
Yeah. No, I like
we get rid of like the
I like
Gastrodon.
Kurt, Seismitoad, and then we need to look at like Wishcash, Wishcash.
No,
Gastrodon,
LRXC will be so sad if we cut Wishcash.
Who will be so sad?
LRXC.
True. Dude, we can't cut Wishcash or the Thug.
No,
Yeah.
not the Thug.
Yeah, so I think Straptor's lame too, so I'm fine with that.
Oh, can we cut Zergatry? That's like not a real Pokemon. that
fine.
Pokemon's undraftable.
That's fine. Alright, dude, John's gonna get so mad he might leave again. Toxtricity?
Yeah, you know what, John? If you think that Pokemon's
No,
draftable, by all means.
Toxtricity.
Oh, I took out Circuitry, not Toxtricity.
No, I'm saying Toxtricity now. What do we think?
It's no Terra, no Party. Like that's kind of how I feel about it.
Yeah, he's slow too, dude. He's so slow.
It's
so
kind of the
bad.
same. It's the same thing. No Terra, no
I feel like
Party.
there's 73 better electrics in every
Yeah.
tier. So
Everything else I kind of vibe with in this tier.
Yeah, I think we cut that a lot.
I can get behind everything else here.
I do something to keep in mind. There is a mega in a couple tiers that I want to get rid of. We do need to start culling some megas. We can't just leave every mega in the game, as cool as they are, man. Some of them aren't great.
If you cut Zerk, what are you doing about the rest of the Ultra Beasts?
They're separate Pokemon.
They're separate Pokemon.
Yeah, they're just separate Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like,
All right.
and Thunder
If we
King
want
can't
to
get
cut,
cut
if we
'cause they're
want to,
different
I
forms.
see your point. Are we gonna cut Mega Beach? Oh, that guy's not.
That's a Jolteon and Terra is carry tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, Fast Electrics are always going to get Terra. They're terrible without if they don't have good coverage. Yeah.
I don't even think we got
I do
the
agree.
thing.
Thorns just gotta go. That guy's a bum.
I think we already got rid of Mega King is gone. Mega Beedrill can go. That guy's super stupid and bad.
We don't like Beedrill? Is that the first Mega we want to cut?
Well, we kind of, yeah, out of like the ones that we still have on the board, I think Beedrill can go.
Okay.
I just don't think he does anything.
Fun. Can you get rid of Iron Thorns while you're in there?
Yep.
No Brian here. Goodbye, Magnus. Goodbye, Meloetta. Do you want to give us reasons why you're cutting all of our guys?
Yeah, I feel like we should have.
Goodbye, Fez. Yeah, but
it's called New
John's
Gramble,
just killing
by the
him,
way.
dude.
Reminder: John said he was leaving, by the way. And still here going strong.
Goodbye
Salazzle is crazy. I'll gift a member if we get rid of Mega Houndoom.
Say less. Get him off the board. Go ahead, Ant.
Really? I like that guy.
Dude, he did sweep Hiker Toad that one time.
Dude, I feel like he's fun.
Dude, give me my bag. Oh my god. Ant, you gotta sell.
You know what? You sold your soul for $5 to get rid of Houndoom.
No, hold on, wait. Ant, sell. Why is Mega Houndoom getting gone? Well, if we got rid of Mega Houndoom, it'd also be Mega Houndoom. Also, get rid of Beedrill too if you got rid of Mega Beedrill.
Oh, I got rid of Beedrill already. Don't worry. Houndoom's fun. Ant's a hater.
Ant.
I've
never seen someone hate him all more than Ant Mega Houndoom. He used an LD in one of his like seasons.
What, John? Why are you so against Salazzle? Salazzle was so good for me in the LTM.
Dude, there's the Dre's lead of all time. I actually think that Salazzle is cool. I like having a Pokemon that can Toxic Stall literally everything if positioned aggressively. Like,
yeah, you know what? I think John should be timed out for.
Why is me on the lull under Mega Man Electric? Because driving, dude. You were just in call. Where are you going?
Yeah, you know what? Driving is crazy. Always got an excuse.
Always got an excuse. How are you gonna give me money if you're driving? Salazzle go for stall? Not really. No, I would not dress Salazzle.
No, Salazzle's a really good like lead and like tool to have like on
it's strong
just kind of like
in some matchups, and then there's also those cheesy matchups where you still have Toxic Tech.
Yeah, it's just a good tool on like balanced offensive teams.
Yeah. All right, what else do we have in this tier? I like Mega Sharpedo. I think he's really fun. I think he's a really fun.
Yeah, shout out to the Mega Sharpedo video.
I think. All right, we have so many bulky waters. We have not been cutting waters. Get rid of Milotic. That is the lamest Pokemon.
No!
Milotic sucks. It's lame. I'm gonna lose my mind if I see another Flame War Milotic in my lifetime.
No! Why are we hating on Milotic?
No, I said what I said. Get rid of
You know what? You know what?
Chandelure's a valid one. I think that he's kind of useless, especially in like his decks.
Which one's useless? Sorry.
Chandelure.
Yeah, he's so slow.
Yeah.
I want Chandelure to be good. That the design of Chandelure is so fire.
Torkoal? No, I think Torkoal's good. I'm fine with it. Well, again, we also decided that we're gonna do a separate weather discussion.
We need it. Yeah, I wanted weather for me is a tiering discussion.
Milo is so bad. I agree. What about Armor Rouge? He's another kind of like nothing guy.
I think it's interesting on Sun teams, but like how many fire types are you gonna draft on Sun teams?
Armor Rouge and Cerulege just seem like Pokemon that aren't going to be picked.
No, Cerulege, I think you can find uses elsewhere. Oh, do we? Is that a thing? Oh, I didn't know. All right, we'll get rid of both. Fuck it. I did not know they're the same guy.
I do think Magnezone is terrible. I don't think it enables Dragmag as a playstyle because you're not. I've never seen Dragmag drafted.
You can't trap fairy types. So
yeah, I mean it could switch.
It was a playstyle when there were no fairy types.
This is an OU, right? It loses to most steals. Most steals can pop it with an EQ. It doesn't Ogle most of them either.
Yeah, I don't know. We might add Armors and Cerulege back later. I'm not convinced I like that decision, but we'll revisit that.
Let's see, we have 74 fire types.
Yeah.
And ones that are better of that same typing. Not drafting Armorers and Dex for Victini.
Go play Gen 4 Draft, John. Stop derailing the conversation. I want to go to bed soon.
Cut Magnus out. We'll get through your. I could tell you're tired. We'll get through either 9 or 8, depending on how fast.
We'll get through a couple more because we don't have to worry about. We can just call like on our own the rest of the guys and figure it out from there. 9. What do we not like in 9? Don Doza was brought up earlier.
Oh wait, is there no more people in 10 that we want to get rid of?
I don't feel strongly about any of them in 10 right now. I think they're all interesting enough.
9, yeah, I think Don Dozo's lame and he sucks. I think we have plenty of Unaware Mons in the decks now. We have plenty of Fat Waters in the decks. I think there's no reason for Don Dozo to exist.
Yep,
especially if we kept in there's just like an Unaware guy.
So because we've said that, we can't go back alphabetically in 9?
Yeah.
Okay,
what?
good. No, alright, you agreed. Don't worry about anything that came before Don Dozo.
No, that's not true.
No, don't say Crass. We're keeping Crass.
We can
Crass
keep
is
Crass
fun.
Well,
Zarway
I was going to
Crass
bring
is
up
in this
Cinchino because Burger said Cinchino. He really hates Cinchino.
I think, low key, unironically, I was going to mention that Pokemon. I think he's really
my thing with
boring
Cinchino is I actually like having a viable Tidy Up mon in the decks, and I'd like to cut Mousehold because I hate him. And Furt's not real. So I actually kind of like keeping Cinchino. I think Tidy Up's a really interesting tech option. Is it great? No. Can we all get some Jealous in love? We love Jealous in this household. He's not going anywhere. Arctozol, I think he's fine too. He gives like an interesting snow abuser.
You have to make snow playable.
Raquinid. Bronzong's a certified Hood Classic. Crawdon. What do you think about Crawdon? Lots of Dark Waters too, so far. That's Encore is fun. Yeah. That's true too. What do we think about Crawdon? Got Mega Man? Oh, don't worry, I was gonna get that. Don't worry. It's dog food. No, we're dropping Dozo.
We already dropped him. Dozo's gone. Another Pokemon I want to put on the chopping block, Galvantula.
What do we think about Crawdon though? Hold on. Crawdon. How do we feel about Mr. Crow?
I mean, it's kind of. I think it's like kind of a nothing Pokemon.
It's one of those ones that's so hard to draft in a big decks. It's one of those ones that gets drafted like 1 out of 15 drafts. And you see it draft and you're like, let's go! And it has one pop-off week and it sits the bench the rest of the season. I love Mr. Craw, but he's terrible. Galuf, what's the reason behind Galuf? It's just like there's a lot of weapons.
I think it's just a useless Pokemon. I think it's undraftable. And I think I don't want to remove skill testing, but like it is skill testing to not draft this guy. Is how I would look at it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there are like better sticky web setters that do the sticky web thing on it.
I actually like Helios. I saw Cyrus at Helios. I think it's fun, like anti-weather stuff. I love having a water immunity on my water killer. It gains momentum in U-turn and has double coverage for grounds, which is great. I like Helios. That's a certified Gen 7 classic. That guy's the GOAT.
Iron Leaves can go. That Pokemon is garbage.
No, not God Leaves. What about Florges?
He's giving Terra garbage.
In my Gen 6 tier list, I had about 6 comments of people yelling at me because I said Florges was bad. So I honestly have a personal vendetta against everybody who's screaming at me over that. I want that guy gone.
What better sticky webbers? Rabombi is better.
I think B is better.
Arachnid is also better.
I think
Iron Leaves the decks. You're spitting right now.
I think Galvantula's a better Pokemon than Rabombi, but I think Rabombi's a better weapon.
As much as this is funny SpongeBob, I'm moving the Meowth to 1 point for now.
Funny SpongeBob is fucked up. Mega Manectric was mentioned, and I agree. Get him out.
Really? We don't like this guy? I think he's kind of fun.
Ass. Dog shit. Terrible Pokemon. I think guy's butt, especially because we're not bringing back Hidden Power. I want him gone.
We're gonna revisit that one. I like that guy.
No!
But I like that guy. We'll
Chat,
revisit
yell.
that.
Chat, everybody start yelling right now. Everybody start losing
No,
their
I
mind.
think that guy's fun.
Dude,
that
hold
guy's
on.
Fun. We'll
Wait.
revisit that.
Give me a second. Give me a second.
Man said there's a lot better named one. Well, I named two.
It's
And
important. Chat, look at
I said that it was undraftable. That doesn't matter how
Hello?
many are better. It's still undraftable.
Hey, I'm on stream. Be nice, okay? The whole world can hear you. Me and Keegan are doing our perfect draft league tier stream. There's a Pokemon I really want gone, and he really likes. He said out loud he thinks that guy's drip. Really likes him. It's a Pokemon you have some recent experience with. So I'm gonna need you to snap some sense into him. A Mega Manectric. How do we feel about that guy?
When Keegan gets more than 2 wins in BBR, he can have an actual
I got 5 wins in the first season. What's this hate?
Yeah, thanks, Kurt. Bye.
Replacement Andy coming from the top row.
Replacement Andy. Kurt is using Mega Man in Gen 7. It's probably his best gen. And is
I think
absolutely
he's super.
despised.
He's fire and fun. You guys are haters.
He's not fire and fun.
Also, Kurt did a good job delaying from the fact that Ant strawmanned me. I said Galvantula is undraftable as a Pokemon, and there are better Pokemon. That's a separate point. I think it's certified unusable.
Oh really? Oh, I like Galvantula.
I just think it's an unusable role. I think sticky webs are like just super bad. I think as a hazard. To be perfectly honest with you.
I would like
that
chat
might be
to
a hot
know
take.
that we did indeed remove Mega Manectric.
Yeah. That might be a hot take. That might be a hot take. That sticky webs are bad, but
No, it's not a hot take. Sticky webs are bad. It's a big skill tester.
and it does that bad. Galvantula does sticky webs poorly, and it's a bad move.
On to the next couple though. I'm fine with these next. I love Rhyperior. I think that guy's great as a budget
Rhyperior's
round.
fun. Sceptile Mega, goat. Let's
Dude,
go. That
I
guy's
was gonna
fire.
say I'm really glad we didn't have another conundrum just like we did with Mega Manectric. I think Sceptile is one of the most slept on megas in draft.
I wouldn't say he's slept on.
No,
I think
dude,
he's not
when do you
great,
see that? I mean,
but he's fun.
I have only seen that guy drafted, like I'd say in like 20% of drafts. But when you see high level people use Sceptile, it's an incredible.
It can
Pokemon.
go demon. It can go fire. You gotta like be locked in to draft this guy. I feel like, to your point, but
What's your
we
favorite
can't
beginner
get rid of
core?
Galarian Slowbro, unfortunately, because all the other ones are fire.
2018 man is fuming. I love Mega Sceptile. That guy's goated. Beginner core, I would say my advice wouldn't even be to like draft off a checklist and draft like I want this guy with this guy with this guy. I would draft whatever's best on the board and then evaluate what helps this do good because it's gonna help you get better in the long run.
Yeah, 100%. Draft the best mod available. Make sure you have enough hazard guys.
And then build from there.
Yeah, make sure you draft the best Pokemon, the hazard guys to kill things with, and then
Will you keep Mega Glalie? We'll do this as our last point here. We'll do
yeah.
8.
I want to
Last
keep
one.
regular Glalie.
Dude, I love Mega Glalie.
I think
he's
it's
in
kind
this
of
tier.
mid, but I think it's fun.
Dude, no, I think that guy's again. Maybe it's a Gen 7 in me, dude, and loving having such a strong offensive spiker for so cheap, right? Because the only reason it's cheap, like, think if Mega Glalie was a Pokemon on its own, like, say that was Glalie, those were his stats, he'd be
It
like
would
a
be a lot
15-point Pokemon. Like, the only reason he's slow is because the opportunity cost of drafting Glalie over another Mega,
Well, I don't
which
know
is
if it's
valid.
15, that's a little high, but
Dude, okay,
I know what you mean though.
but like he'd be a lot higher. It's
Yeah.
a great offensive spike. Refrigerate hits like a fucking truck. You get gate coverage in Earthquake. You have Freeze Dry as well for Waters, and your booms hit so hard. It is such a good mega on offense. Durant, goodbye. Yes,
Sure.
get rid of Durant. We're going on to the next one.
No, KD.
KD.
No, we win Kevin Durant.
We'll do 8 and then we'll stop for the night, guys, because Keegan is a tired.
Right. This is what happens when you have not EST, Atlantic time and PST
Well, we
try
would
to
have
stream
started
this together.
earlier, but it was Father's Day. Oopsie.
True.
Oh, get rid of Golett because he's another.
Oh, it's a
funny
meme.
SpongeBob.
Well, do we want Golurk?
Well, I'm saying get Golett off of the tier list
Uh,
because he's not going in the NFE section.
how do you spell this guy's name? Where is he?
Well, the
Bro, I spelled it
GOL.
right. Where is he? Oh, I found it. Yeah, I'll throw him at the 0.
do I feel about
Um,
Barraskewda? I feel like there's so many offensive swim Pokemon on the decks, and in a dex with Mega Swampert,
they're hard.
Barraskewda
The
never been
rain stackers are hard to draft together. Where like the sand ones are a little bit easier to draft together. So
Those
like
are different.
they do
Yeah.
kind of replace themselves too much. And like if you're drafting rain, you only draft it because of Mega Swampert.
And like
So-
Barraskewda was the Mega Swampert replacement in
Yeah.
Generation 8. Like if you drafted Rain, you got Barraskewda because Mega Swampert doesn't exist anymore. It does here. I want to tighten off my board now.
No, that guy is super boring and super bad.
He's terrible. Fuck you, Blubs. What about Ambipom? We have Cinccino. Right? We still have
It's,
Cinccino in the decks. Why am I keeping Ambipom in my decks?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have a useful role.
How do we feel about Brute Bonnet?
I don't have a strong opinion, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of grass types. We got rid of Amoonguss, and this one's like a little bit different. I think we keep
I
it
guess
for
that's
now.
another Sporemon if we got rid of Amoonguss. We only have like 2 viable ones. So I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think it's worth keeping around for now.
Yeah, low tier ground. Especially with Amoonguss gone, he might get drafted. You know, who knows?
The next Pokemon I want to ban... I definitely want to get rid of Fortress, because I feel like that Pokemon just, like, is undraftable.
I do remember 14-point Barraskewda Ant.
I feel like Fortress is just not a draftable Pokemon. I think we can just remove it and like
we have a more open
build
decks
a-
here. There's more removal. There's more spikes.
we can just build a format with better removers and better setters, and then like not have to like leave this here. I feel like Fortress enables bad drafting.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I want to get rid of Dreadnought too. Another nothing bird.
And I was also like kind of thinking that one. Dreadnought was, like,
I actually like
not
those
really-
guys a lot. I think they're really, and again,
Cofagrigus
especially
is so fire. That
yeah,
guy's so
especially in
fire.
our fighting heavy meta, we literally
Oh,
just looked at the top
Cofagrigus
of the
is-
board. Look, what is this guy? 8 points. For 8
Yeah.
points, you get a check to this guy and this guy
Oh,
immediately.
God.
Especially this guy. This is about as good as you can get for Mega Medi.
If you're
You
talking
also
about
get a
top 5
certified
Pokemon,
wall to this guy.
if you're talking about top 5 Pokemon I want in Paldea, Cofagrigus might be like number 1. That
Dude,
guy's
if
unreal fun.
If Cofagrigus was in Paldea, it'd be incredible.
Oh, it'd be broken.
It gotta be him.
Oh, I love that guy.
Yeah, he's sick. And he has cool Trick Room, like, offensive options, too. Like, OTR is cool. Alright, next up, I love Druddigon. I like Delmise, too. That's another typing I do want to kind of, like, cull a little bit, is that Grass Ghost typing, because we still have Trevenant, Bramblegast.
Well,
Glorghast.
the Trevenants of the world, unfortunately, are not going to be.
Like, I was thinking
staying.
Trevenant, Bramblegast probably go.
Yeah,
I think we have enough
John's
spikes in the
dismay,
metagame. Delmise is a more interesting Pokemon as, like, Grass Ghost Spinner.
100%. Yep, I agree.
So we'll keep Delmise for now, though.
Will you erase Licky? That's a good point. I think we probably should get rid of that guy. What do you think?
I will
Owen?
not. I will punch you in your Adam's apple and make it where you go. Like that.
Mantine maybe?
Yeah, another nothing
I
burger.
think it's just like question mark.
I want Mimikyu gone too. Speaking of enabling.
No, Mimikyu's interesting.
From who? For who? Me when I watched D-Ray play with it?
No, well, if you deleted Sword Dance off it, I feel like you could do a lot of interesting things with it. I feel like it's fine. I think like the ability to disguise is interesting to like use as like just like a catch-all answer to a lot of things.
Mhm.
I think it's an interesting Pokemon. You just have to like pretend not think it's a Sword Dance sweeper every week.
It's terrible. Okay, we'll keep him for now. We'll see though. We'll see. I want to keep Registeel actually. I think he's much better in that deck because he gets Seismic Toss and Toxic back.
Mm-hmm.
And I think actually that makes him like very good. Love that guy.
Also,
I also
Reverberm
love Mega
going?
Steelix / Steelix. I think those are like certified
Oh,
draft league staples.
W Pokemon.
Yeah,
Reverberm
but-
gone? I don't think that guy does a lot in the format.
Reverberm, yeah. I'm fine with him going. Call a little bit of the steals. I like Stack Attack as an offensive Trick Room sweeper. There's not many Pokemon that can like get Trick Room to sweep themselves like that.
Mhm.
Like Stack Attack. So I think he's interesting.
Yeah.
Tinkaton, I like Tinkaton too. We get rid of Serena.
Serena is.
We're
yeah,
getting rid of
talking about
Serena so
another-
I don't accidentally draft it again.
Yeah, talking about another undraftable Pokemon. I accidentally drafted that guy in GBU, and that's started the derailing of my year. That guy is questionable at best. I kind of Venomoth can go too, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think that guy's useful without Terra.
Oh, and then you're right. We didn't mention Quag. What do you think about Quag? Is he one of the water grounds you want to get rid of?
It's really not good. I'd rather keep Gastrodon than this one if we're like picking and choosing.
I think we get rid of Quagsire and Whiscash as our like water ground guys that we can. Yeah. I think it's a pretty good start. We start with 7 for next stream.
We got through a lot of stuff here. I'm gonna recount this tomorrow when I get home from work.
What we can do is we can
do like the one like
yeah,
the like we can do a lot of this off
stream.
stream.
To make stream and make this go a little bit faster, chat, what we'll probably do is like one of these days we're not streaming, we'll probably cull 7 through 1, show you guys an update, and then get you guys the numbers, make the last cuts, and then start running tours.
Yeah. Why is Serena bad? Serena is a ground resist that dodges the ground moves, is how I would describe it.
It's also just a Pokemon that affords such crazy free switches all the time and has crazy 4 moveset syndrome. Yes, you get U-turn on those, said free switch-ins, but if you're running U-turn, you're not Knock, you're missing out on Axel, you're missing out on Rapid Spin, which is why you draft it for, and things like that. I've legitimately been screen you twice.
It just doesn't do anything. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like it has no role it does well.
Yeah, so I don't know. Oh yeah, I guess I have to draft. I guess we did we got Terra Gambit, right?
Yeah, you're getting Terra Gambit for this.
Alright, let's type in Terra Gambit. Were they allowing Palafin to Terra? This thing?
No, Palfin's Terra banned. The Terra bands are on the side here.
Oh, there we go. Let's go. King Gambit. And then who's after me? Pizza Man! Alright, one sec, chat. We're gonna do one more thing before we leave. We're gonna go to the old T draft dock, and we have Deoxys Speed there. We're gonna pick a Pokemon around that guy. Hold on. They have a where's old T? They have a rainbow picture this month, so I'll find it. Hold on. Just use from California. Alright. Let's see. Rosters. Is it updated? It is. Alright, chat. What are we getting with good old Dio Speed?
Why is Zamazenta C allowed? What are we doing? What? Oh, can we? Alright, let me guess. What's the Kieran Black restriction in this? It's probably no Roost, if I had to guess.
This is Paldedex. He doesn't get Roost.
Oh, no Scale Shot?
Probably no DD. Like, I guess Dragon.
Oh, no DD.
Hmm.
No DD, no Ice Beam on Thursday.
All these guys are lame. Do I get... Wait. Wait, oh no, I'm changing my pick. I'm changing my pick in the other one. I'm getting Terra Bolt there, and I'm getting Terra Gambit, Dio Speed.
That is pretty fire.
Hold on. Did they put it in there? They didn't. Raging Bolt. Okay, we're good. Okay, Dio Speed plus Terra Gambit. Come on. That goes kind of crazy. Right? Chat. Can we get a hell yeah? Hold on. Where are we at? I gotta find ulti again. Terra Gambit. Let's go. Alright, and who's after me? Slick Panther. Just like forfeit all the games in his misery. I think that means we're good to go, gang. We end for the day? Was anybody yelling at me? I'll get the Ting. I'm not getting the Ting. I'm running Terra Gambit.
I think we're yeah. I think we.
Crazy. Yeah,
I think we could.
I'm not doing a Blaziken run back burger. Fuck that guy. Also, fuck Tinglu. He's lame. Going, you putting up the channels for draft help, for your new league? Oh, no. These are all just showdown leagues. I only do, like, front offices for, my Wi-Fi leagues, or my leagues I, like, upload. So, I feel like we do have this fraudulent this gen. Oh, for sure, Cyrus. For sure, very fraudulent. All right, gang, we're gonna end for the day. We will be back. Oh, dude, I did get it in time. They put in Raging Bolt. All right.
So,
All right, we are out of here, guys. Next stream we're gonna do 7 through 1 on our own, and then from there we'll kind of come back with numbers, make some cuts based on typings and what's like prevalent in the meta and what we think is gonna be too overbearing because there are too many of them or too little of something else. We might add some stuff back, and then we'll run some speed tours. After probably about 2 or 3 speed tours, I'll probably open apps after we make some more adjustment for OGDL, and the experiment will start. So it's moving along good.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for watching, guys.